quick video, and then I'm going to work on some laundry, maybe even practice some hygiene. But grandson's taking a nap. Haven't done a monster thing in a while, and I'm going to go on about one I introduced to my game last night. And it's from a Alcon adventure, which I'm putting the barrel mazes frozen over for the winter. They are in the brine region, the very bottom of it, and they are helping some poor, unfortunate folks with some owlbears. Maybe they've stumbled onto something larger. But anyway, in this tower, there's a dungeon part. There's a skull creeper, and the skull creeper is pretty mean, right? And I'm going to modify it even more for future encounters. If I modified it the way I wanted to last night, it would have been a wipe, just simply because of the composition of the party. Okay, it's a type of slug or snail, 6 hit dice. It's got a head. I got asked for a called shot last night, and I said no. And he didn't say he was going after the tentacles. He said head. But I probably would have allowed an attack on tentacles. I didn't. Probably will in future. I'm going to keep him the same AC as the body. And just give him lower hit points and not off the body hit point. It might have reduced the multiple attacks. But it's roughly about 6 feet, 4 foot tall, and 8 foot long slug snail, right? And it has a subsonic moan that it puts out with a 100-foot radius. If you fail, you wander towards it. When you get too close, it attacks. Well, the thing it disguises itself with is why it's called Skull Creeper, is after it's dissolved and ate its victims, it decorates its outer body, and these stick to it, the bones, specifically skulls. So it looks like a pile of skulls with a fleshy underbelly, right? Any treasure is incidental. It happens to be from victims and laid on and mixed in with the bones that you might be able to see from a distance. But when you get close, and the damn thing only moves 10 feet around, so it's not quick. It's slow. It uses its subsonic moan thing to draw you to it. I did make a ruling. They had a paladin in the group. Therefore, mind-influencing effects don't work in that 10-foot radius. So as long as they stay 10 foot to the guy, they didn't notice it. They weren't affected. They finally made their way to it and fought it. But when it gets close, within 10 feet, then it reels up and it's got 6 polyps, 6 pseudopods, and it slaps them. They have reach. So you got something that's got reach, 6 reach in Dragon Slayer and raw. Now, I know people have reduced it to just 1 attack, but when in doubt, I fall back to AD&D, and I give them the full attack routine. And the full attack routine is 6 tentacles. A lot meaner. So it lashes out with these 6 tentacles, hits you. It's only a D4, but it can paralyze. And once you're paralyzed and it can do it, it will just crawl on top of you and eat you. That's it. You're done. The one thing I thought about doing, and there's 6 hit dice, and because of all the bones on them, they're AC 3. But what I thought about doing was make them immune to blunt weapon damage, just like the giant slug. That would make it much harder to kill. It's not a real intelligent creature, right? But the composition, the people, half the party were monks and clerics, so blunt weapon immunity would have been like, half your party can't attack. You're done. It would have been a wipe, or half the party been devoured. And I hadn't committed to it before the creature was put in there, but I do like the creature, and I will be using it again in the Underdark, in the Deep Realm, in the Underrealm, in the Underworld, whatever we're calling the Underdark in this campaign, right? And they might be heading in that way. So Skull Creepers are gonna make a reappearance. Like, no! And I try to go out of my way to describe it as being super creepy as possible. And I'm going to expand on it. So giant skull creepers will be just like giant slugs and not, they're immune to blunt weapons. The regular ones where they're smaller will allow blunt weapons to still work on them. Maybe not. Maybe this was just a one-off that it was weaker, and then any in the future will be immune to blunt. And that's half the party. Half the party can only use blunt weapons. So I guess some blowback. And if you leave 10 feet from the guy, you fail your saving. You just move 10 feet towards it. Oh, my buddy. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Until at least you get back in the area effect of the paladin. There's something, a labyrinth creature that I'm toying around with that I'm going to expand use of in the future in my games and campaigns. Kind of like I did with the Ghoul Sturge from Lakofka's Secret of Bone Hill. It's another favorite of mine. But we have more fun with it. It's Lovecraftian. It's disgusting. And I've messed around with some images with Grok and got something I liked and then filtered it up to where it's not too terrible. It's still not the greatest image, but we're going to use it. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Skull Creeper. Make everything old new again and expand on it. And if you're running like Labyrinth Lord for Dragon Slayer, replace those Labyrinth Lord creatures with Dragon Slayer creatures as much as possible because the Labyrinth Lord guys aren't as powerful. Another one was like the John Owl, 1 attack, 3 hit die, and the one in Dragon Slayer it gets 3 attacks and it's 1 hit die more. So it's much meaner in the offense. But yeah, the Skull Creeper, it was a tough fight, and it could have went south. It went south of the party. That happens. Make your stuff creepy and terrifying. There you go.